The dust motes danced in the solitary beam of light, each one a silent witness to centuries of forgotten history. My fingers, stained with the ink of decaying manuscripts, traced the spine of yet another forgotten tome in the lower vaults of the Miskatonic University archive. It was deep in the bowels of this forgotten place, tucked away in a lead-lined box, marked only with a cryptic, six-pointed star, that I found it. The object was no bigger than my fist, yet it seemed to possess a weight that defied its size, a density that felt like it was pulling the very light from the room into its core. Its surface was a dizzying lattice of impossible angles and curves, a masterclass in non-Euclidean geometry that made my head swim and my stomach churn just by looking at it. As I held it, a low, rhythmic pulse began to emanate from within, a deep thrumming that vibrated not in the air, but directly in the bones of my hand. A silent, malevolent heartbeat. The air grew cold, and the familiar, musty scent of old paper was replaced by the acrid smell of ozone and something else, something ancient and deeply wrong. I knew, with a certainty that chilled me to my very soul, that I should have left it buried in the dark. But the historian in me, the foolish, arrogant scholar, had to know more. I slipped it into my satchel, the thrumming now a faint, insistent whisper against my hip, and sealed my own damnation. That night, the familiar comfort of my home became a stage for a creeping, psychological horror. The ordinary shadows cast by the furniture in the moonlight seemed to stretch and writhe, twisting themselves into shapes that had no business existing in a sane world. A coat slung over a chair would momentarily resemble a hunched, skeletal figure, its form dissipating the instant I focused on it. The comforting silence of my study was punctuated by faint, scratching sounds from within the walls, a skittering noise that always ceased the moment I tried to pinpoint its source. It was in the reflections, however, that the true terror began to manifest. A fleeting glimpse in the darkened glass of the television screen revealed a pair of luminous, yellow eyes staring back from over my shoulder. In the polished surface of a silver teapot, I saw not my own distorted face, but the elongated, predatory grin of something inhuman. I would spin around, my heart hammering against my ribs, only to find the room empty. The silence mocking my rising panic. Sleep offered no escape, my dreams filled with endless, cyclopean corridors, and the constant, unnerving feeling of being watched by 1,000 unseen eyes. The artifact, which I had foolishly placed on my mantelpiece, continued its silent, rhythmic pulsing, a malevolent beacon drawing the haunting closer with every beat. The storm that broke over Arkham, that third night, was biblical, the rain lashing against my study window like frantic, clawing fingers. I sat at my desk, surrounded by open books on forgotten cults and eldritch symbols, desperately trying to understand the nature of the thing I had unleashed. The pulsing from the artifact on the mantel had grown stronger, the vibrations rattling the very glass in the window frames. Suddenly, the lights flickered and died, plunging the room into an abyssal darkness, broken only by the intermittent flashes of lightning. In one of those blindingly white moments, I saw it. The shadows in the corner of the room were no longer just shadows. They were coalescing, drawing together into a solid form. A vortex of swirling, abyssal blackness took shape. A chaotic mass of writhing tendrils, and countless glowing yellow eyes that all fixed upon me with an ancient, predatory intelligence. The air crackled with energy, and a low growl that sounded like grinding stone filled the suffocating silence. It was a creature born from the spaces between realities, a physical manifestation of madness itself. As another flash of lightning illuminated its impossible form, it unfolded itself, a being of pure shadow and malice, and lunged directly toward me. its silent scream echoing not in the room, but in the deepest, most terrified corners of my own mind.